What is up, restaurant owners? Let's talk about how to get more visits from your very best customers, not coupon seekers, not people just coming in for a deal. Your very best customers. How can we turn, those once or twice a month visitors into 3 to 4 times a month visitors? So let's talk about it. I mean, it is not complicated. You are building a sales funnel. And just like any other sales system, if I can draw a triangle there, it's driving people down your funnel. Okay. And down here in the funnel is where you're getting your best people back more often. So, how does it work? Well, here at the top, you need to first generate awareness. If you're brand new, or maybe people have never heard of you, most people probably in your area may not have heard of you before. So you need to do something to cast out a net and grab attention. All right, we're going to come back to how to do that in a second. Then you need to get people to consider coming in. All right. They need to think about it. Maybe they need to talk with people and say, oh, I heard about Quartz Cafe down the street. Maybe we should go check them out. So you could, that's where the consideration part comes into. We'll talk about this. And then right here is where people make a decision and they're like, let's go out to eat. Let's go check it out. And ideally, we want people going through this decision process more often. And again, turning those once a month people, once every other month, let's get them back more often, spending more money. So how do we do it? Let's break it down and talk about it. So at this awareness stage, how do we get awareness? First, I mean, the easiest and free way to do it is social media. Okay. If I was a restaurant, if I was you, I would focus on two: Instagram and Facebook. Okay. That is a great place to start. Most restaurants are on Instagram. So if I were to say pick one, I would say pick Instagram, but you can really kind of post the same thing both places. Why is that so great for awareness? Well, you're putting it out there, it's free. You basically have your own, channel. Think about it like 30 years ago when there was only a few channels that you could pick from. Well, now you can have your own channel, a camera in your pocket. You can, record videos at any time. You don't need fancy equipment. And if you create reels, vertical videos, photos, it doesn't have to be complex. In fact, I would say the more messy, the more just kind of yucky your food is. Like, people love that. They want to see like the burger get like torn apart. And people, think about people on their phone. When they're going through their phone, they're just scrolling, right? That's what you do. What do you have to do? Grab their attention. And that's this awareness stage. What are you going to do to stand out from everybody else in the algorithm when people are just swiping? What are you going to do to grab their attention and make them stop? Now, we've done some other videos about this. I talk about 3 things that you should post about. I call them the 3 P's. People, process, and product. Okay, so those are 3 things. So let's break that down and talk about it. If you're wanting to create awareness, you need to showcase people inside of your business. Who are the people that are making it run? I know a lot of restaurants want to focus on the product and they want to talk about all the things happening with the product, but really the people is what makes it go. So you need to be thinking about how can we showcase the people inside of the restaurant? How can we showcase the customers and getting them back more often? All right. Then how can you show the process? The process, think of it as going behind the scenes. Take us into the kitchen. How do you make, one of your signature dishes? How do you, if you're a brewery, show us the brewery process. How do you brew the beer? If you're a bartender, how do you make and mix different drinks? Show us the process of what it's like. And then the product. So I know it's counterintuitive. And this product,
You need to just make it eye-catching. And again, the more like over the top, like just kind of like icky and gooey and less professional, the better. You do not need to hire a professional company to come in and do a commercial for you or bring in a bunch of equipment. You do not do that, especially when you're starting out. Get out your phone and just hit record and just start recording the people, the process, and the product. And if you want more ideas, what I would do is go on to Instagram. I do this a lot and look through at other ones. What are other people doing? Take that idea and just model it for yourself. Just take it and make it your own. And so that's one easy way to create awareness. Now let's talk about consideration. Okay. One of our goals is to get people off of social media and into a database. Okay. Why is that important? Once you get people off of Instagram or Facebook and get them into, whether you're using a MailChimp or an ActiveCampaign or Go High Level, something like that, now you own that data. Because if Instagram and Facebook, they could go away at any day. They could shut your account down at any day. And all those followers that you've had, I worked with a client that had their page shut down and they were like, how do we get it back? It is very difficult to get your account back. But if you get people off of it and into a database, now you own it. And think about during the pandemic, I had so many restaurant owners reaching out to me and they're like, how do we get butts in seats? Like, we've got no people in the door. I was like, well, do you have emails? Do you have phone numbers? Okay. Do you have a way to get onto people's phone? That's where we live all day. People live on their phone. And one of the things most people check are their email and their phone number. They may or may not get on Instagram every day. And you don't know whether Instagram and Facebook are going to show them your post. But if you create a database, if you build a database of emails and phone numbers, now you can just send an email, send a text message, and you're on their phone. Even if the person doesn't read it, you might say, Court, I get hundreds of emails a day. But yeah, think about when you do get emails, even if you just delete it, even if you just ignore it, you're still thinking about it. At least for 1 second, that person is thinking about your restaurant. And they may be in a buying decision where they're like, where should we go out to eat tonight? And that's where you can be very strategic about when do you send out these emails? Thursday afternoon, if you're a pizza place, hey, don't feel like cooking tonight? Come in and pick up our pizza. On Saturday afternoon, hey, we've got live music happening this evening. Come on in, check out our live music. I mean, there's so many ways that you can do that. So you're saying, well, Court, okay, how do I do that? How do I get them off of Facebook and into a database? Well, it's just like any other sales process. What do? First, we dangle out a little bit. Think of it like fishing. You dangle out a little bit, okay? And what we call that is, you might call it a loss leader, a lead magnet, okay? Something that's going to draw people to you and where they will give their email address and their phone number in exchange for something. Think about this. How many times have you gone to a website and it's like, join our newsletter? Nobody wants to join a newsletter. Nobody wants to just sign up and get that. If I'm going to give you my email address, I know you're going to send me stuff. I know you're going to email me. I know you're going to contact me. Make this an even trade. What are you going to do? And so one of the things you can do is say, let's say you offer a BOGO burger. Okay. And so you dangle it out there and you let people know and you say, hey, get a buy one, get one burger to our restaurant, on your next visit. And this can be for both new people that have never been before, because again, you want to give them an incentive. Come in, try us out, get a BOGO burger. Now, I will caution you, don't be lame here. A lot of restaurant owners want to go lame, something like buy one, get one half, or where they have to buy a whole bunch of stuff, or it's a really lame offer like get a free Coke with a entree purchase. You've got to make it attractive because you've got to get two conversions. You got to get people to do two things, right? You got to get them to sign up, give them your name, email address, phone number, and then you've got to get them in the door. So that's two actions that people have to take. The more attractive you can make it, the better. It can also be for your existing customers, okay? And so these are your really good customers, the people that you want to get back more often. Maybe people that haven't been in a couple months. Give them an incentive to come back in and try you again. You know, your very best customers, if they sign up, that's great because you want to reward them and say thank you for being a great customer. You're only going to do this once. They only get one of it in exchange for their email. And so we typically see about 10% of all people come in and redeem within the first 30 days. So if you're freaking out and you're saying, Court, I'm going to have to give away a bunch of food and a bunch of pizza. No, that's not how it works. It's gonna go slow, and it's gonna build momentum because the longer you go, that you'll be just building it, and it just becomes more powerful. So so don't freak out about having too much. Now, how do you get people to join? Well, so you then put it out there and think about, you got the bait, now we need the hooks. Okay, so what are we gonna do? You can use QR codes. So as you probably know, on your table, you could have a table tent with a QR code that says, hey, sign up today and get a buy one, get one burger. And so people scan it on their phones, they put in their email address, and then they've joined the club. And so that's an easy way to do it. Those are going to be your existing customers, people whose butts are in your seats, right? So those are people that are already in, they're already aware of you, and that is a great place to start. Because if you can start collecting the email addresses of your very best customers, that's low-hanging fruit, right? That's a great place to start. So think about number one, QR codes. Number two, go look at any email databases you may have. A lot of restaurant owners tell me they've got thousands of emails and they don't know what to do with them, and they've never used them before. We're going to talk about what to do with them, but what you might do is go, what I call it kind of the Voltron thing, where you go and you get all of your different emails from all the different places and you put them together into a CSV file. Okay, if you don't know how to, there's some tutorials online, but you're putting them all together. Maybe they're in your POS. Maybe they're in online ordering. Maybe you've done it on paper and pencil. A lot of people do. If you can go through and get them all just consolidated, that's another place to start. Okay. Another place you can do is social media. You've got that free channel that we've started up here, right? On Instagram or Facebook. Now on your social media, you can have a link. And in those posts, you can say, hey, go here and get a buy one, get one burger. And in the video, it's an obnoxious video of you eating the burger or it being pulled apart or something. And you say, hey, go join our club and get it right there. That's another way that people can join, and you can cast the net out there. If you get beyond that, if you want to level that up, you can run paid ads. Now, it's a little bit different. It's not just boosting. Don't just go boosting a post. There's a little bit of art to it. And we can talk about that in another video. Help lots of restaurants with that. But on these ads, you can be super targeted on who sees them. You can target people that by zip code. And this has been really interesting. I've worked with some restaurants where they have a credit card processor that has like a heat map and shows everywhere that people come from, where credit cards, and as we look at it, there's a lot of times we say, oh my gosh, there's nobody coming from this zip code and they're right down the street. We need to run ads targeted at that zip code. Conversely, you might see a bunch of people coming from one zip code and you're running no ads over there. Well, maybe we can pour some fuel on the fire and run some ads in those zip codes. Okay. You can also do things by demographics, obviously. People that are foodies. Okay. People that love restaurants, people that love beer, people that love pizza. You can dial down and talk about that. You can do age, you can do gender. And so there's lots of different things you can do. And when Facebook does this, they are going to put it in front of people that are likely to opt in, likely to sign up. Another one you can do is what I call warm retargeting. And what you can do is you can go tell Facebook, you can say, hey, Facebook, I want to run an ad and I want to show it to people that have interacted with my page, that have liked stuff, that have watched videos, that have sent messages. You can upload your email list to Facebook and say, hey, I want to run ads at this. Why is that important? Well, again, these are your best customers and you want to appear on their phone. You're already going to get them on their email and text, but how can we get more warm retargeting so you're showing up on Instagram, on Facebook? And the best way, again, is dropping out that hook. You can run an ad and say, hey, join our VIP club, get a BOGO burger today when you join. Okay. Kind of another fun one off of that is you can target people that have a birthday or an anniversary. And so what you do is you say, hey, anybody, Facebook, I want you to show it to anybody with an upcoming birthday. And I believe it's in the next 7 days. And so Facebook knows when we're all born because we had to tell it when we signed up, right? And so what it'll do is it'll say, okay, there's 5,000 people in these zip codes that have a birthday in the next 7 days, and it will only show it to them. And you can make that ad very targeted, happy birthday, come in, get an entree, get a dessert, get something, and people will see, wow, how did they know it was my birthday, right? And that's going to really just build kind of goodwill with people. So here's 3 ways that you can capture people and get them started into your database. So let's go back here and talk about it. All right, so we set up our Facebook, Instagram to grab awareness. We've got people into consideration. We've got them to give us their email address, their phone number, lots of different ways. Now let's get butts in seats. How can we do that? Well, one of the best things is your email list. Now that you've got that, now that you have that, you can send out and get on their phones at any time. Anytime. And so think about, what do you have coming up? Do you have a Mother's Day special, Black Friday special? Or do you have live music? Do you have a new special of the month, a new burger of the month, let's say? And so if you can stay in front of those people, it's staying top of mind. And if you can give them some kind of incentive, some kind of thing to get them to come back more often. And I want you to think about experiences. Don't just think about free food. Think about how can you create unique experiences that will draw people in. People today, when we go out, we want to do experiences, fun things, whether it's on the patio, listen to live music. Maybe you have a magician that comes in. Maybe you have a wine tasting or a beer tasting. Any kind of experiences that you can create that are going to draw people in. So you can send out an email. Hey, we've got a wine tasting tonight. It's $50 per couple. You get this, and this. Come on in. And that's where you can build those events and those experiences. So I would say email and SMS. Okay. You can again run ads at those people and say, hey, you're our very best customers, people that are on your list. Now you can talk to them and get them back more often. All right. So then, there's so many opportunities once you have them off of here. All right. And then it really comes down to giving them a great experience when they come in the door, especially if you know it's someone that's been through this sales funnel. And, maybe they show you and they say, hey, I've opted in, I signed up for this thing. That is an opportunity for you to really build a relationship. If you're the manager, if you're the owner, go over there and chat with that table and say, hey, thank you so much for signing up. What do you think? Have you ever been in before? What are you trying? Build a relationship, especially on that first visit. That first visit is so key. It's not something with marketing. It's not something that you're putting out there, but it's word of mouth. It's it's building relationships. And with that, I should also say, big thing is, what can you do to generate reviews? That kind of also ties up in here. But people want to see, what do other people say about you? They go to Google, they go to Yelp. What is kind of the idea about what people think about going there? And so that's going to also drive this consideration down into decision-making mode. So, we've talked a lot here. How to set up your thing so you can draw attention, how to build a database, and then how to get people coming back more often. Now, our Go Explore Local platform will help you automate and do this whole process. If you're interested, go over to goexplorelocal.com, check it out, and see how it could work for you.